Hello, hello. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail stream. I'm very excited because we kind of got disconnected last stream, right in the middle of a very uh tense moment in a cutscene. And then apparently there was like almost a game wide DC, and a ton of people got kicked out. And then everybody tried to log in at the same time. And then that messed up and kicked a bunch of people out, including myself. So there was no getting back in the game for a while. So we ended up just cutting the stream. And then it's been a couple of days, and this story has been on my mind. I've been wanting to jump back into it, but I waited for you guys. So let's do it. We're back where we started. At the temple guard, outside of the temple, and the ominous music is still playing. It was playing as soon as I came back in here. So yeah, let's see what's going on and what they're going to ask of us, because we're the adventurer in need. Of course they're going to ask something of us. So let's see what that is.
What happened?
So it's true. The ice has failed.
Surmurwar, tell them what you told me.
A short while ago, a claimant paid us a visit. Who enters this hallowed hall? Ah, a claimant.
Oh, and here we have the mighty Valigarmanda.
A terrifying Tural. With every awakening, it has seared its ruinous name into the memories of a new generation.
What a good little terror.
This doesn't sound good.
You've stayed napping right up until the day I needed you.
Explain yourself.
It is as they say. Kulul Jaja caused its magic to run rampant, trapping it in a frozen prison of its own creation. Clever. Clever. To unmake it, it would be quite tricky. Two spells must be cast at the exact same moment. A conflagration intense enough to melt the ice, and awakening flame to rekindle the slumbering Vitral's soul. The only ones capable of such harmonious execution would be the heads of reason and resolve. And the blessed siblings, Bakul Jaja.
You mustn't!
But I already have.
Oh
Rise and
no.
rage.
little terror. I might have overdone the fire a bit.
Utter madness. Why have you done this?
For the throne, of course.
You unleash calamity for your own gain? Have you any idea how many may die?
Wreak havoc, Valigarmanda. Live up to your legend.
A messenger to Tural has been dispatched. The Landsguard will send a contingent, I am sure. But there is no telling when they will arrive.
Idiot! This monstrous act is a step too far, even for him!
So, what's the plan?
If we leave the withdrawal to others, it will be a massacre. Some might call it the wiser choice, if I don't want to fall behind the competition. But I could never live with myself. And my supporters deserve a better ruler. So that's that. I will stay and fight Valigarmanda. This is an enemy so powerful that even my father failed to slay it. Alone, I don't stand a chance. I understand you've no obligation to aid me outside the right of succession. But for the sake of Urkopacha and its people, I beg you, join me in this battle.
Oh, I plan on it. I plan on it. As if you had to ask.
Far be it from us to abandon a dear comrade in her time of need.
Dear comrades now, eh? I have to say, it does have a comforting ring to it. Knowing someone has your back makes it easier to do what you have to do.
What you gonna do?
And what will we do? One committed to winning the contest above all else would race on ahead.
Are they...
If you're resolved to slay Valigarmanda, we'll need to find out where the beast went.
That's what we have you for, old friend.
Did her brother seriously just leave, though? Like, your people are at risk And you're just gonna be like, peace out?
Inform the Pelu of the danger. They may need to flee to lower ground.
So, Aaronville, any ideas on how we can track Valley Garmanda? The tried and true method of comparing sightings with other signs of passage is the most reliable, but also the most time-consuming. There is a second option, not as reliable as the first, but if we're lucky, it will let us ascertain the Sky Ruin's whereabouts far more quickly. Though a Tural Vidral of extraordinary nature, Valley Garmanda is still a creature of this world. Like you and me, it is thus sustained by corporeal energy and possesses a unique ethereal balance, which means this device should come in handy. What device? Oh my goodness. A floating hand? Now's not the time to be playing with toys. This is no toy, it's an ether seeker. As the name suggests, gleaners use it to detect the ether of living beings. And you've had that in your pack this whole time? I can calibrate it to follow a specific ethereal aspect. The problem with Valley Garmanda is that it can shift freely between the elements of fire, ice, or lightning. Well, we know that in order to awaken Valley Garmanda from its icy imprisonment, Bakul Jaja cast spells which quickened its fire-aspected ether, and the residents here were uniformly afflicted by burns. Therefore, the logical conclusion is that upon breaking free, Valley Garmanda unleashed a great fiery blast. Then the choice is plain: fire. The Seeker, however, is not without its faults. As we were not able to input our quarry's unique etheric signature in advance, the device will respond to any living source of fire-expected ether. So we have the reliable, yet slow, method of information gathering versus the potentially swift, but easily misled Gleaner tool. I say, why not pursue both methods at the same time? We'll have the first to fall back on if the second fails. You travel with me then, Owlin, in case the Seeker leads me to some other fiery fiend. I am on it. The rest of us can stay behind and talk to eyewitnesses. The more Sky Ruin sightings we can compare, the more accurate our information will be. If no one has any objections, I shall remain here in the village and tend to the Akhui. Very few are seriously injured, but I am wary of wounds inflicted by a creature like Valley Garmanda. I should like to be close at hand should their condition suddenly worsen. That makes sense. Sounds like we all have work to do. I was gonna laugh if the pointer started following like Alize as she walked away. We should be on our way as well. Okie dokie. We'll head to the outskirts of the village first, then set the Seeker to detect fire-aspected ether. What do I have in here? Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. I did hop on a few days ago to okay, I'm going the right way. Work on leveling Viper. I wanted to test it out and see, and I really love it. I've been having a blast with it. But I did a Shadowbringers dungeon to try to level it up, And while I did not get a mount or minion, I did get a plant. So that was nice. Didn't know that was possible. Alright, the Seeker is ready to go. Warlar's Echo is still suffused with the Sky Ruins residual ether, so I've excluded it from the search area to prevent it from swamping the sensors. Let's begin tracking, shall we? Follow the Ether Seeker to its destination without falling behind. At least I don't have to, like, be hidden. But it does... Oh, it's gonna catch this fire thing, isn't it? I don't like that it moves slower than my run. Could they not have made it move, like, at least the same speed as your run? Not slightly slower? Alright, I gotta deal with this. This is not exactly what we were looking for. I love all the swords. All done. Let's try this again. Oh, I can see already what it is tracking. Frightening enough, but again, not what we're looking for. If I would be so kind, I would. I got this. A cool looking one of these though. I remember they started doing these in Shadowbringers. I believe it was. I'd ask if it gave you any trouble, but considering who I'm talking to. Seeker, resume tracking, and do try to point out something useful this time. I was about to ask, I wonder if I'm going to aggro like pull aggro on from something while I'm in this quest. And sure enough, definitely looks like a giant fire-breathing monster was here. Another remnant of Valley Garmanda's last rampage. The crater's flames registered to the Seeker as corporeal ether. Oh. In the words of the Tural saga, when Valley Garmanda rages out of control, its fire burns forever, its ice does not thaw, and its lightning crackles without cease. Thus was the Dawn Servant able to turn the Sky Ruin's perpetual magic against itself, trapping it within an unmelting prison of ice. This is no mundane fire, but some kind of everlasting sorcery. Once again, it is a strange feeling to see fanciful poetry proven true. The important thing is that the fire was classified as living ether. We can feed a sample into the Seeker and greatly improve its accuracy. One moment. There. Now the Seeker should ignore any etheric signature but Valley Garmanda's. Had I realized this was possible from the start, then you needn't have fought those creatures at all. My apologies. It seems I still have much to learn from this journey, as a gleaner and as a guide. That's okay, Aaronville. I don't hold it against you. This time, the Seeker should be attracted solely to Valley Garmanda's ether. Resume tracking based on the latest sample. Where did I go? I thought I was going to keep following it like I did the last time. Do I keep going this way? Oh, that's so cool! You can see the Pelu Pelu village from here. I think that's the Pelu Pelu village. Is it? Yeah! That's cool. I bet this is approximately where we meet Aaronville. Yep. Makes sense. The Seeker was drawn directly to the Sky Ruin's fire. Now we know we've set the correct parameters. I'll try increasing the threshold for etheric concentration. That should direct us to the Tural Vidral itself. I don't know, like, exactly which way to go, but I'm just gonna guess that it's this way. If anything, I'll clear more of the map, right? And, you know, I'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually. Oh, we're back in proof. Yes. This looks familiar now. And now we're in Solace. And there's Aaronville. I think we'd notice if Valley Carmonda was inside this passage. Let's head through to the other side. Very true. Ooh, pretty wildflowers. Kind of remind me of bluebonnets.
The trail ends here, it seems. Could Valley Carmanta have shifted its elemental aspect? It does have 3 to choose from, after all. In any case, I'm almost certain the Vitral was headed in the direction of Warkor Lardor. We should let the others know we have a likely location.
Alphino is assisting the Yokhoi with their evacuation. He thought they could use a healing hand with the injured.
So where is Valigarmanda?
Warkor Lardor. Its stratified layers contain a wealth of crystals, said to be the source of its many-colored glow. After 80 years of imprisonment, the Vitral will be in dire need of sustenance. It would have been drawn to the mountain's energies.
So Valigarmanda seeks to replenish its ether.
That's not good.
Then we'd better not give it the chance.
Stop! That mountain is sacred ground. I forbid you to set foot on it.
Sorry, It is not our intention to trespass. But you must understand, that's where Valigarmanda has gone. If we don't slay it now, it will slaughter countless innocents. Just like in the old days, I beg you, permit us to enter.
Out of the question. Your band is incapable of defeating Valigarmanda. Either you seek to defile Warkor Lardor, or you are fools.
If you doubt their chances, how would you feel were we to join them?
Thank goodness, Kona. What did he do? Wait for us to figure out where it had gone and then hop on in?
The monument to Valigarmanda's defeat bears the names of 7 heroes. With our forces combined, we also number 7.
Seven weaklings are no less doomed than 4.
Zoralcha, you've come to help as well.
Against my sound advice. While the rest of you were tussling with this sky ruin, we might have secured an insurmountable lead. A minor delay. It will not change the contest's outcome. I would take the measure of this Tural Vitral my father was unable to kill.
With both my brothers here, this battle is all but won.
Is this going to be a trial that I actually get to do with, like, only NPCs?
Your celebration is premature. I never said I would let you pass.
That would be exciting.
Brother, no! We do not bear arms against our own people!
What an odd thing to say. As I recall, the inhabitants of Chir Wagur Sultan do not consider themselves members of the Tuliyolal nation. I'd hardly call them our own people.
What does that matter? Members or not, everyone in Tural is part of our dream for peace. If you would hurt them, then you'll have to go through me.
Ooh. And me. Apparently.
She saved me from the mountain bird. Now, then, the same eyes. Eyes of stone. Words of stone.
We are still in her debt. This is true.
Is it enough to let us go on the mountain?
Consider the debt repaid. But do not misunderstand. We do not submit to Tuliolan rule.
Aye, you've made your point. We can talk more once the contest is over.
I ask your name.
Wuklamat, protector of peace, and soon-to-be Dawn servant.
That's awkward, saying that, you know, right in front of her brothers. But, you know. She is determined, and that is good. It's a good quality to have.
Even people with wildly different ideals can find understanding through earnest discussion. I believe that, wholeheartedly.
As do I. I won't give up until we reach a compromise.
Assuming you survive, my old bones and I will be waiting here for the true heir's return.
Your thoughts have always been a mystery to me, brother. But I'm relieved to see you put aside the contest for the sake of the greater good.
Our nation is a fortress, and its people the bricks with which it is built. The more that are lost or broken, the weaker Tuliyolal becomes.
That is definitely a way to think about it.
Even the crudest rock has value as a stepping stone.
Wow. That is also a way to think about it.
Come on, you two. Forget about the right of succession for now, and help me fight this overgrown snake bird. I don't care how strong the Sky Ruin may be. We're going to put this menace down for good.
Yay! Oh, it looks like it's a dungeon. It says trial. Yeah, it is a trial that you can run with all NPCs. Ooh, ether current! That's a pretty chocobo. I like that color. Okay. So Thancred and I will be tanks. Urianger and Alize are healers. And everybody else is DPS. Alright. Let's see how many times it takes for us to get through this trial. Ooh, pretty. That looks scary. And we're just standing there. It's so pretty. Why is Thancred going over here? This is why. Oh, it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, that's so weird.
That's far enough.
Ow. Oh, I didn't even see that Thancred was up there. No! Okay. I've learned something. I told you we were gonna have to do this more than once.
O radiant starlight, become my blade!
Back off!
The stars shall grant thee succor.
Hold still!
Oh. Oh no! I wiped half the group! I took down a healer! Why did I do that?
Back in the game.
I'm in your debt.
This is different. Oh. I'm in an ice boulder. It is here.
Think you're tough, do you? Together we shall overcome this. my turn. Out of my way! Behold the heavens' brilliance!
Hopefully I don't get turned into another. Oh no, I got hit by that. I got turned into another ice boulder. That was painful. Oops. Hit the wrong button. Oh well, it saved me. Hopefully I don't need that button later. Not gonna wipe out half the party. Getting there. Let's do a next spring grid. Somebody already LB? Almost there. Yes! We defeated Valley Garmanda! Woohoo! Sparkles. That was a good fight. I liked it. And take a deep breath.
We did it. We slew Valigarmanda. A feat that even the great Gulul Chacha couldn't manage. For you, Papa!
There's no denying it was an impressive achievement, but I wouldn't be so quick to claim we've outdone Father. The Vidral was weakened by decades of imprisonment. Had we faced it in its prime, we wouldn't have fared a fraction as well.
True.
How can you say that? 80 years couldn't have made that much of a difference. Oh, who am I kidding? Papa's still the best.
I'm sure you'll surpass him one day. English, Cass.
You're right about that. Just need a few more battles like this one under my belt.
The Sky Ruin lies dead, and still, I've yet to prove myself the miracle.
Well, I suppose we should head back and join Erenville.
We did leave him with only Sarelja for company.
Your proud expressions bespeak a successful hunt. Not that I'm surprised in the least. Zaralja came back earlier, but left almost immediately with Sarilja in tow. He seemed disinclined to share any victory celebrations. That's nothing unusual for Zaralja. No, it's Bakul Jaja that concerns me. He's probably far ahead now, making the most of the mayhem he caused. I still can't believe he did something so evil just to slow us down. If we hadn't slain Valigarmanda, it wasn't only Urkopacha at risk. There would have been deaths across the entire continent. I'm more certain than ever that Bakul Jaja cannot be allowed to rule. I have to catch him and take back my keystone. Ooh, ether current. The Yakhui must still be anxious, wondering where and when Valigarmanda will strike next. I suggest we hurry back and allay their fears. Alpha knows as well, I should think. Yes, you're right. We shouldn't let them worry another moment. We are all the way over there. We are going to teleport. Ah, peaceful music now. Before we do anything else, we should talk to Grafurler.
To the temple, then.
That won't be necessary. Heroes of the hour. Valigarmanda is no more. Yours is a victory worthy of song.
We had plans for a second feat to be conducted here in town. But the recklessness of your fellow claimant has rendered them pointless.
A second feat?
The feet of ice. You are to fortify Valigarmanda's prison. How shall we proceed, High Luminary?
I think that defeating Valigarmanda is enough of a feat.
What more would we test, Zulmurwer?
Exactly.
They have defeated the Sky Ruin and saved the gods know how many lives. If they are not worthy heirs to Kulul Jalja, then no one is. Now that our last claimant has arrived, we can proceed with the formalities. For the skill and bravery the three of you have shown, I award you each a second keystone.
That makes 5. Only 2 left to collect.
Except that one of those 5 is in Bakul Jaja's thieving hands. He will answer for that. And for losing Valigarmanda.
You have brought lasting tranquility to our home and earned the gratitude of every Yokhui. May glory and prosperity continue to bless Tuliolol as we enter this new age.
He's like, okay, I'm done here.
Was never.
My bad.
If you're up for it, you should visit the capital. I'd like everyone to get to know you and your people better.
Ha! I'll consider it. If it's one of you two who claims the throne.
Then you need only await a missive from Sunperch. I'll be sending out invitations.
Today is a day for unusual visitors.
You... Woklamat, was it not? I doubted you could slay Valigarmanda, but the quiet skies proclaim your triumph. Had the Vidral been suffered to roam free, it would have terrorized us all. Once again, we find ourselves in your debt.
You owe us nothing. We fought because we wanted to.
Yet a debt has been incurred. All the same, it will haunt me if I do not repay it.
I wouldn't even know what to ask for.
Perhaps he can tell us about the dreams of the Golden City.
Oh, good idea! That was on my list of questions I wanted to ask.
The Golden Dreams. Yes, we have records of our forebears and their visions from the time before the Tural expedition.
What did your forebears see?
A heavenly land, suffused with a golden glow. Its people lived as gods, never aging, never dying, free from hardship and conflict. Every building was a palace, and in their midst reigned a silent goddess. A statue so tall, even my kin would need lift their gaze to behold its visage.
A statue of a goddess. That's new.
Aye, and compared to the abstract imagery we'd previously heard, this was a detailed description.
The dreamers were consumed by their visions, compelled to seek out the paradise they'd been shown. They journeyed to Tural, where they died in droves.
Those who go in search of the Golden City do not return. The tales Book Evu shared may have been rooted in historical fact.
Perhaps. Who can know the truth of it? Once our ancestors left the forest, there were no more dreams, no dreamers.
The forest? What do you mean?
From the very first, the visions were set to visit only those who worked the quarries in Yaktel. But after they were ravaged by disease and saw fewer newborns, they were forced to abandon that territory. Once our people's withdrawal to Urkopacha was complete, we never again dreamed of the Golden City.
So only Yokhui in that one specific area experienced the visions. Fascinating.
Well, we're headed to Yaktel next. Maybe we'll find out more when we get there. Thank you for sharing your stories with us.
I do not require gratitude.
Oh.
I merely repaid a debt.
She can still say thank you.
Farewell, Wook Lamat. I do not think our paths will cross again.
I don't think Porlor and his brethren will have a sudden change of heart about Tuliolal, but that doesn't mean they'll never change at all. Today is proof of that. I think it's time we return to Tuliolal. After scaling Tural's tallest mountain and battling a legendary beast to death, even dauntless heroes like you could probably use a rest. In any case, there are preparations to be made before we can visit the next destination laid out in the saga. The respite would be most welcome. I believe I hear the Forard cabins calling our names. To Tuliolal. We meet back here later on. I have a small errand to run, so I'll leave you to recover. Will you be heading to the palace, Wiklamat? Wiklamat, did you hear me? Lost in her own little world, it seems. Well, no matter. I'll be back soon enough. An attendant is standing by to unlock your cabin. Enjoy your stay. Your cabin is just as you left it, minus a layer of dust. Oh, that's nice. Who dare knock on my door? Ah!
You have a moment? There's something I wanted to talk to you about. So,
What is it?
It's just too stuffy in here, that's what. We should go outside. Aye, a nice walk in the fresh air. That's what we need.
Okay. Sorry to drag you away from your nice, comfortable cabin, but I could feel the walls closing in. Oh, I know. I'll take you to one of my favorite places in Tuliolal. That should help me get my thoughts in order. We'll go to the Resplendent Quarter and make our way up from there. Oh my god. Yeshua, what are you doing up and about? Is your back feeling better? It's much healed now, so don't make a fuss. Besides, I can't be lounging in bed all day when you're out there fighting your hardest to win the throne. You're the claimant with the greatest love for peace. I love this nation of ours, and lending you my support is the least I can do. When I see you smile like that, how can I not be encouraged? Oh, there's plenty more who believe in your cause. I can recruit a whole battalion of smiling faces if you think it'll help. Yours alone is more than enough. Thank you, Peshua. And thank you, Third Promise. I shall pray for your success in the contest. All those smiling faces. Ah, sorry, Alan. I'm getting distracted. It's just that with the progress we've made in the contest, even these everyday encounters feel that much more special. Do you think we can take our time and maybe wander around a little first? Then we can head to that spot I was thinking of. I'm so confused. What does she want to talk about? Ooh, this place is pretty.
This is much better. I used to come here all the time when I was little. I'd look out over the whole city, and whatever worries I had would seem so small. Do you remember what I said at the top of Warkor Zormor? That I would fight to preserve Papa's peaceful Tural? Well, I've been thinking a lot since then. About what peace really means. If it's just the absence of war. And it brought to mind all the best parts of our journey so far. I realized nothing gives me greater joy than the happiness of others. Life has its ups and downs, but the company of family and friends and the music of their laughter is what makes it worth living. And as silly as it might sound, I've come to believe that those smiling faces are the best measure of peace. With eternal life and no struggle or conflict, it's certainly an ideal worth striving for. Who knows if we could make such a world a reality? But renouncing war and conquest seems like a good place to start. So, this is my plan. When I become Dawn Servant, I'll build on Papa's peace. Our people will live together in happiness. It's just like Kryl said. By taking the time to hear their concerns, understand their feelings, and consider how best to serve, with each passing day, I'll be that much closer to becoming the leader I want to be. It's hard for me to say how much I've changed since the contest began. But there's one thing I can say with confidence. I wouldn't have come this far without you as allies. If it wasn't for you all listening and feeling and thinking along with me, I would have never learned so much, and in so short a time. There are 2 keystones left. After everything that's happened, and imagining what could happen, are you still willing to walk this path with me? Thank the gods for that. Well, I've nothing else to get off my chest. I need to head to the palace, but I'll see you back at the caverns.
Sleepy time. I am passed out. Oh, now I'm awake. I can't help but dance to this music. You look to be in good spirits. I assume your leisure time was well spent? I was glad to snatch some quality sleep myself. After all, it will soon be back to the road for us. Ooh, dark mahogany weapon. I'm sure the others will be along shortly. I do hope everyone has rested well. Now that we have refreshed ourselves somewhat, let us consider all claimants as they currently stand. Zaralja and Kona have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Wuklamach would be equal with them, but for Bakul Jaja's thievery, which has left us 1 short. That conniving braggart didn't so much as lift a finger for the feat of proof, and wreaked havoc for the feat of ice. He can't have more than 3 keystones at most. He may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken. I will be taking back what is mine. This I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Bakul Jaja's unleashing of Valley Garmonda is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate that he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival's attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. I can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. The last 2 keystones we require are those of the Lay of Repast and the Lay of the Brotherhood. The former depicts the cessation of hostilities between the Mamulja and Jabral in the forests of Yaktel, specifically near a village called Ikbrax. That's where I was born, if you recall. I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of the Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In the saga, it is said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with a Dawn servant, but little more than that. Eorzea has a similar tale. The explorer Kettenram befriended a two-headed king known as the Autarch before commencing his travels across Tural. He journeyed here several times afterwards, but was ultimately lost at sea. At least, that is the commonly held belief. Your two-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this Kettenram fellow must have come to Tuliolal. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet, vestiges of Yakhui architecture notwithstanding. Wait, you said Autarch, didn't you? The Kettenram must have met the Dawn servant in Mamuk. Mamuk? Is that a city? One of the grandest in Tural, once upon a time, and the seat of the Mamulja's homeland. It too lies in Yaktel, not far from Ikbrax. Then all things considered, Yaktel seems the obvious choice for our next destination. From here, the safest method of travel is by dirigible. We should make for the landing once our preparations are complete. We're riding in one of Kona's balloons? They can't be any worse than ships, can they? Hopefully not? Possibly are? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Oh, I thought I saw something. Dirigible landing. The next flight to Yaktel will be leaving shortly. Passengers are asked to keep hands, legs, and luggage inside the dirigible at all times. Are we sure that thing will stay in the air? All the way to Yaktel? Are you ready? Bags packed and goodbyes said? There's no going back once we lift off. Not that I'm nervous or anything. I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. Right. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand? Just until I've settled my nerves? Of course. You're the nicest person I've ever met, Owlin. I'll try not to crush your hand. There she is! Third promise. Wait just a moment. Maybelline and Tobly. Of course. I'll wait as long as you need. Sorry to delay you, but we were able to discover the origin of Kryle's earring. Is that so? You said before that it gained popularity in Tural as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right. We tracked down the elderly merchant to whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that charming taste of salt would prove to be a commercial triumph. A foreign mage wearing this earring could only be grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yaktel, to where it seems you are already bound. What luck! Then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. Is it mere coincidence that brought my grandfather there, or yet another discovery to look forward to? Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of the rite. Thanks. I won't let you down. I've just got to board this dirigible and I'm as good as there. Last call for passengers to Yaktel. I really hope she wins. Yaktel will test her mettle without a doubt. The next Dawn servant must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be.
The fierce Chapral hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest, Yaktel. Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named. It is here, where the Chapral and Mamulja once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
Are you all right?
I've never been good with heights.
The vegetation is far denser than in Kozumautka.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
A cenote?
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion. Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
It was one time.
Is the Chapral community depicted in the Lay of Repast close by?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in sight at all times. Oh my goodness, it's a flying squirrel, but a giant one! I want one! Just gonna keep running past that. Good, everyone's accounted for. Ikbrax is up ahead. Let's Let's be on our way. Ether crystal. Aaronville was not exaggerating about the cenotes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, thankfully, we made it here without incident. Let's not dally any longer. Ooh. These are pretty. Ready to head on in? Our first task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly on us. The third promise in her retinue, I presume. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant's Elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone is waiting for you. Everyone? I was just thinking the same thing. And who might that be? There is but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him. Ah.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with a Ligarmanda in the first place.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. As a Brash Rash, I have the honor of serving as Elector on behalf of my people. As all four claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival. Third promise. If you would please join us.
Watch this be like somebody that she's biologically related to. They have the same color hair. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily her bio dad, but like, I have the feeling that she's biologically related to him somehow.
Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones.
Oh.
I advise you to cooperate with your partner. Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Please let us get Kona.
Twelve forbid Wuklamat is paired with Bakul Jaja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
Claimants, please present your colors. I have red.
Blue.
On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Yay!
Which means...
Together again, as fate would have it.
victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition. Not the one-head.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows. Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Shebral cuisine. Shibruk Pibil.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say? Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future. The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques. Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster. Let the feat of repast begin.
I've never actually heard of Shibruk Bibil before. What's it like, I wonder?
How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakul Jaja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty strong and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Heh, of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Our competition is a team of 6, the 2 claimants, Surreal Ja, and Bakul Jaja's lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9. That's 3 more people we can mobilize. With the tasks suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could have easily been avoided. Our first order of business should be determining the recipe for Shibruk Pibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Jabral people. Let us gather here once we have seen what clues this village has to offer. So now, we're just gonna go stalk everyone in town and see how they cook their food. That sounds like a great plan. I wonder... Can I spell correctly? Sweet! Oh! A number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. That one's called... achiote? We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well. I love how she was like, I'm not telling you, but I'm also telling you. But I'm not telling you, but I'm telling you. The recipe for Shibruk Pibil. I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. But your mentioning it has given me a fierce craving. I only hope there's still Ibruk to be had at market. Wink. Oh wow. Some serious wrestling going on here. We ought to cut our losses and head to Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if you think you won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could a second time be? Well, what are you looking at, Salt Liquor? Mind your own business. Oh, that reminds me of that, what is that chewing gum? That, like, talks about, like, a clean mouth, and they always use, like, really weird, curse words in their commercials that aren't really curse words, so, like, it calls her a lint licker. That's what that reminded me of. I don't remember what brand of gum that was. Those commercials were always hilarious. An unusually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking. Oh no! It appears I've gone and dropped my Jatika banana peel. I could hardly see it for all the steam issuing from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves in your cooking. I love this. Just the over-exaggerated language used to be like, I'm so not telling you the answers to your quest. Loving it. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Jibruk Bill? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us, directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish, and an observation of their techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation. But one in particular she attributed to all common Jibral dishes. Achiote, she called it. I see. Then if this is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Alphino claims, we have confirmed our first ingredient. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook bearing bundles wrapped in the leaf of najul, or banana, in certain localities. 'Twould seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. I saw the same! I think we all know what's inside those bundles then, don't you? Ibruk. As would be expected of a dish called Jibruk Pibble, indeed. So to summarize, this dish is one of Ibruk, flavored with a combination of spices that includes achiote, and steamed underground within najul, or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Thancred and I scouted the surrounding forests while you all were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and wild Ibruk, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Leave it to a master gleaner. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. I too should be glad to volunteer mine aid. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I am happy to lead someone to a suitable Ibrick if they would perform the requisite deed. Alize? As for the Najul leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find Najul in these parts. They only grow in the Jatika heartland, forests far below these. Such an excursion may be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamati, Owlin, if you would accompany me on my errand. No better way to whet my appetite. Good, let us be about our tasks then. Alrighty. Interesting. Very interesting. Definitely shows off my six-pack. Because now, with the, you know, upgrade of the, visualness of the game, I have a six-pack now. Very nice. Let us see if there are Najul leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Ryanje mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. Ooh, pretty horsey. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? Najul leaves, for purposes other than Gibruk Pibble naturally? Unfortunately, I've just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forests for more. Golmagic Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in city markets can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then to the Jatika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. Traveling there requires that you go through the something traverse, but it has caved in, due to the recent storm, I suspect. What? But that means we can't get our Najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat, or else altered its objective. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Gibruk Pibble to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. Heh, I can't wait. Still, if there are no leaves here, and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliolal. So perhaps there is something about Gibruk Pibble that we have yet to learn. Something or of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like who was the first to make it, its history, that sort of thing. If it's Yaktel's history you're interested in, you should start with the Old War. Between the Jabral and the Mamulja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Jabruk Pibble. What does steamed Ibruk have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by the war, the village of Ilion Asso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Ilion Asso? Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place. Alright, friends. Unfortunately, this is where we're gonna have to end for today. I'm receiving a very large delivery and need to prepare for it to be delivered. So, I'm gonna have to call it a bit early. I hope you've enjoyed so far. I should be back on tomorrow. Same time, 7 a.m. Pacific. And I will be on for a couple of hours then. And we will continue the MSQ, the storyline, and see where it takes us after this. Okay? Well, I hope you've enjoyed today, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye!